Hi, I'm Kevin Johnston, sales engineer here at CBTS, and today we are in the studio to talk about a trend that we're continuing to see in enterprise networking today. That's the idea of the AI-driven enterprise, the idea that through new technologies, emerging AI, that there are ways that we can develop enterprise networks that are self-driven or AI-driven based on the technology available to us today. One of the partners that we see developing this technology and really leading this push towards an AI-driven enterprise is Juniper Mist. So we're going to talk today a little bit about the Juniper Mist product and why we see it as such an industry leader in designing and developing the AI-driven enterprise. We'll get into the technology a little bit. We'll talk about what Juniper Mist is, what it does, the AI elements and features inherent in the product, and how it solves for enterprise networking problems. And really with the intention to show why organizations today are choosing Mist AI for their business to meet the challenges that they're facing in their enterprise networking solutions. CBTS has gotten involved in Juniper Mist over the last several years, really spent a lot of time understanding, developing our own even managed services around the product. We continue to resell it to customers across a number of industry verticals. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, where Mist fits in client networks. As we got more and more familiar with Mist and continue to develop our own competency and familiarity and really kind of appreciation and fascination with the product, we don't look at Gartner necessarily to tell us where the industry is going, but we do like to see that it's confirmation that our own engineering expertise, our own product evaluation and assessment matches with what others are seeing in the industry. So we've been pleasantly surprised as we've seen Mist continue to evolve and grow, as we've seen our own customers continue to adopt it into their networks to solve problems that they have, that we see it continuing to get Gartner recognition as well, specifically around wired and wireless LAN access. So that's where we're going to focus especially today, network switching and Wi-Fi as an element in the Juniper portfolio that we really continue to be impressed with as we understand how it solves for customer needs. One of the focuses of Juniper Mist as a product, as an OEM, as the way that they develop the software and the hardware, the application that provides for customer networks, is really a focus on end user and IT staff experience. From an end user perspective, if I'm a person in an office, a client in a retail store, a student in a school, how does the technology continue to make sure that I'm having a seamless connection to the applications and services and things that I need, whether it's to do my job or get my education or consume a business's product or service? That experience-driven network from a user perspective is at the forefront of Juniper Mist's kind of product development and design roadmap. The other way that we see Juniper really focused on experience-driven networks then is from an IT perspective, from a staff perspective. How is Juniper able to reduce the number of dispatches that a national organization may need to have? If you're a retail organization with 1,000 locations, how is Juniper able to use the technology and the AI tools built into the platform to reduce store visits? And we've seen retailers with an 85% reduction in store visits because they migrated from some existing solution to Juniper technology. We've seen AI-driven Wi-Fi that's cut network errors by 90%. And you can see some of the other statistics that we have up here around how Juniper's wired and wireless access network solutions, where those end users connect to the network, can provide a positive customer experience that also provides a more effective, efficient IT experience for the system admins and the network administrators that are working to ensure network uptime, reliability, and stability, because the AI elements baked into the Juniper Mist product provide for a more stable, scalable, and flexible platform for those enterprise networks. So when we're looking at today's landscape, and it really across a number of verticals, we see Juniper in retail, from retail to healthcare, from government to education to manufacturing. A lot of the problems, while in some ways unique to various industries, can also be kind of common across all industries. So whether it's rising security threats, increasing bandwidth requirements as organizations increasingly adopt SaaS technologies and cloud security solutions where all traffic goes towards the internet, whether it's IT staffing and resource gaps, or just disparate systems and limited availability across legacy network infrastructure solutions. Those challenges persist across all verticals, and we really see Mist able to address those by focusing on its prioritization of customer experience and optimized operations, whether those, and we've got some examples listed here, front office or back office priorities, the issues that IT teams and staffs focus on a daily basis, whether it's effective guest Wi-Fi, IoT sensors that provide temperature data for critical infrastructure systems in manufacturing, video surveillance in retail, the ability for all of those non-network systems to effectively, reliably use the network solution that really drives down the complexity and provides quality customer experiences or quality user experiences is where we see today's enterprise landscape heading. And that's really when we talk about the self-driving network. We want a network that not just provides those high-quality experiences, but uses its sensors, uses its data and the intelligence that it can pull out of a network in order to continue to remediate issues that may resolve in real time. So when we're talking about user experience and that reliable, consistent Wi-Fi coverage from Juniper Mist, we really do see, and here we've got kind of some examples across the board, whether it's reliable wireless to customers and employees, people that might be out on a retail floor using a handheld point of sale system, people that might be in an office using wired connection into network switching to access SaaS applications, or IT operations staff that are overwhelmed with the number of tickets and support requests that they might have, and having a reliable, stable, consistent network is the foundation that allows them to focus on more high priority tasks like dealing with, maybe application performance or end user support, things that if we can take the network out of the equation of troubleshooting, it allows us to focus on that client to application or client to cloud connectivity, which that network is intended to provide. When we talk about Mist and really across LAN and wireless LAN networking, we're really at a point today that when CBTS, when we evaluate technologies out in the market, it's not a question of what the technology does in terms of the basics, right? Switching and wireless connectivity are industry regulated, standards-based services that really all organizations have to abide by. Wi-Fi 6 is a regulated standard. There's no question if an access point provides Wi-Fi 6, we all across the IT landscape know what that means. So when we're looking at various OEM products or solutions, we're looking for something that provides some sort of substantial qualitative difference across the experience that is provided to customers and administrators, to users of the system, whether it's client level visibility all the way down to how well a client is connecting to an access point, and can that access point or can the technology that underlies the access point remediate client connectivity issues? Are we able to use the data pulled from that network solution in order to help support and facilitate the ease of operations staff troubleshooting, to more effectively, efficiently identify problems in the network and remediate them either faster or automatically, all the way through whether it's the backbone that supports those IT services, the microservices cloud that Mist has designed, that's the backbone of all of its technology solutions, even all the way to things like virtual BLE or digital engagement, where when a user walks into, when somebody on their wireless device walks into a location and is identified, that you can push notifications to their application via Bluetooth and recognition of that user based on the device they have. So client to cloud visibility really becomes something that's delivered across the entire Mist network, that as CBTS continues to understand and understand the evolution of customer challenges, we really see a lot of elements of the Juniper Mist portfolio that speak to those challenges. It really is designed from a customer lens in terms of how the solution maps to customer problems and pain points, things that we deal with in enterprise networks today. So when we see our clients looking to evaluate new technology and move to new solutions, one of the things that Mist has really done to help facilitate that migration, because it's not easy, is provide really simple methods for onboarding and day 0, day 1, day 2 operations. If you're a retail environment that has 600 stores across North America, the time it takes to roll out a new network solution to replace whatever legacy solution may be in place today can be enormously time consuming. So the ability to move to a new solution, migrate to a new technology quickly in order to realize the benefits of that, Mist really has some tools in place to help smooth that migration process, whether it's claiming devices via QR code so that you can scan and implement on the fly with just a cell phone without having to code in or get into a GUI or into a CLI and manage the onboarding process with hands-on keyboard. You can scan from a cell phone and claim and activate devices. You can apply policy and configuration changes via template remotely so that when one store goes in and it's built across the template and you've got 10 more that are going to look just like it, you can do that via template. So they'll all look the same without the need to manually go in and build all 10 or all 50 or all 500 stores consistently via the same policy, the same template that gets applied to every location. So you have consistently delivered network across all your locations. And then lastly, step 3 is that delivering best-in-class connectivity throughout the enterprise. So whether it's how devices are being onboarded, how they're being configured, or the ongoing management and support operations for that new network solution, we really do see Mist has an easy process to migrate customers from legacy solutions into this new AI-driven enterprise world. So let's talk about what that world looks like a little bit. What happens in an AI-driven enterprise? And really, from Mist's perspective, it's about being able to provide consistent, reliable experiences for wired and wireless clients. And the way they do that is when you look in the Mist dashboard, and I've got a screenshot up of it here on the screen, it's built around the network services that an IT administrator or a troubleshooter, somebody from a service desk, tier 1, tier 2, is going to be interested in order to identify where there is service degradation. So Mist has built virtual SLAs essentially across their wired and wireless technologies so that you can see when end users have an impact that is related to throughput or bandwidth constraints, when they might have issues accessing their gateway, or when you have poor wireless performance because there's too much interference, wireless interference in the area for whatever reason. Mist has designed this monitoring set of tools to provide instant visibility into network statistics so that troubleshooting and remediation can happen as soon as you log in or as soon as you see and access the tools available. Not only does an admin or a service desk, a help desk engineer have to get into the system, but when they get in there, Mist has already done some of the legwork for you. So things like dynamic packet capture is something that when the Mist technology, with nobody logged into the dashboard, no users on the platform, nobody connected in that has to be staring at the screen, but Mist technology recognizes when there might be, let's say, an authentication issue for an end user trying to sign into wireless. It will take dynamic packet captures in order to capture that data in real time as the issue is happening, so that when that user does call into the service desk and they say, I continue to have issues, I'm having a bad wireless day, things aren't working, help, the dashboard, the Mist technology, the AI-driven element of that network has already done the investigation, the legwork for the service desk. So you can go in, find that user's device, find the real-time packet capture, and analyze it to recognize, yep, I see your issue. Here it is. Here's how we're going to fix it. And you can work through that troubleshooting process without the painful experience of trying to tell that user on the other end of the phone that's having a bad day or that's not able to access the network services they need, that's not able to do their job effectively, without having to tell them, I think we need to, let's see if we can recreate the issue. You don't need to do that. Mist has already captured the issue in real time the first time so that that service desk analyst has the tools at their disposal, or that network engineer has the data they need to effectively identify the root cause and remediate the issue. When Mist is talking about AI, and AI is such a trend word or a buzzword, Mist really tries to, we'll say, demystify it, tries to get to the root of what that AI element means in their solution. And there's a couple ways that it does that. The first is through Marvis Actions. So Marvis is Mist's virtual network assistant. It's kind of the AI bot of Juniper Mist. And it's the element that really is, when you're looking for self-driving pieces of the technology, Marvis is the network assistant that does that, that helps relieve the burden on IT staff, because while the network is always on, IT staff isn't. You know, nights and weekends and other times when it's hard, you know, when people are stuck in meetings or pulled to other issues, knowing that you've got Marvis there as a network assistant that's always watching, analyzing, remediating network issues in real time. Some organizations think of it as additional staff, additional people that are not people, but additional assistants that are watching the network and effectively able to help troubleshoot. So Marvis Actions helps deliver that self-driving network through automated actions, as well as things that we kind of think of as like driver assist. Are we tracking upgrades? Can we identify and remediate some elements of network misconfiguration automatically? Or maybe just we can raise the issue to an IT administrator who then can make that change themselves. So things like missing VLANs on a switch port facing an AP, Mist can recognize and identify that missing VLAN and make that change. It can identify bad cables or layer 2 loops and bring that to the attention of an administrator, so that, especially with something like a layer 2 loop, where you may need some hands and feet out in the network to go identify and figure out where that loop is happening or why, Mist can help identify that, raise the red flag, and get your network team engaged, but only for the things that they need, that needs network team attention. In addition to Marvis as the virtual network assistant, if we're thinking of that as kind of a new arm to your network team, a new engineer on the service desk, somebody that's going to be there and able to identify and help, that's always watching the network. The next question is great. So I've got this AI network assistant that's going to work with my folks, that's going to be able to help improve the efficacy of my network team. How do I interact with it? And Marvis has a conversational interface so that when you're in the Mist dashboard and you're trying to troubleshoot, you don't need the complexity that often goes into some legacy solutions, the show interfaces and show VLANs and digging into all of the complex CLI configuration. Marvis uses natural language processing so that you can go straight into the Mist interface and say, at store 105, you know, what are the problems that my my wireless network is experiencing? And you'll get a response from Marvis based on its evaluation of the current network performance, that it'll say, these users are having a negative experience because they have, you know, poor connectivity to this access point, or this user over here is not able to effectively authenticate, and here's the packet capture that shows where the problem lies. By being able to interact with that assistant in a natural way, in a conversational way, and getting network-based responses based on the data that's available, that's out there in the network that Marvis is collecting all the time, it provides a really deep understanding of issues, both from the technology and to your service desk and to IT staffs and teams. It really is able to leverage the AI technology built into the tool to supplement, to augment, and to really enhance the quality of service that IT teams and network solutions are able to provide to clients, guests, and end users. That's a lot that we went through today, talking about Mist, Marvis, and the AI-driven enterprise. Really appreciate your time. Hopefully this was helpful. And if you do have any questions for us at CBTS around Juniper Mist, AI-driven networking, or network solutions in general, feel free to reach out. We've got our contact information here, cbts.com, and I really appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.